Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host Scotty McCoy, and boy do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now, let me see if I pronounced the last name correctly, Emily Classen.
Perfect, nailed it. 10 out of 10.
Awesome. So Emily Classen, and she is going to be playing Vanessa Taylor in the upcoming indie film Smack. How you doing, Emily?
I'm doing all right, Scotty. How you doing? I'm really happy to be
great.
Chatting with you today.
Yes, I'm so glad that Cody was able to set this up for us. I had him on, I believe, a week or two ago, and
yes,
me and him started talking, and we became pretty good friends. And I'm so glad that we can make this happen.
Good. I want to be your friend too.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's for setting this up.
Yes, he's a great guy.
Yes, absolutely, no doubt.
Yep. So, first question I got for you: how did you get your start into acting?
How to get my start in acting? You know, I actually don't get asked that question as much as you'd think. But I was 11 when I started acting. Did elementary school plays. I came from a really artsy family. So both my sisters were into theater. So I was like, well, I'll do it too, because I'm the baby and I do what my sisters do. Right. And then I was the one that it stuck with. And then I ended up doing it in high school, and I ended up majoring it in college. So nice. Yeah, my degree is actually in theater, but I have fallen in love with film. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. So for those that are not familiar with what Smack is, can you let us know like the premise of this movie? What is it about?
Oh, buddy, I sure can. So the last time we talked about the story in our kind of meet and greet cast and crew meeting. Sorry, my cat is trying to bore his way through this thing. It's gonna happen. So the last time we talked as like cast and crew, we debated like this story's kind of on the teeter-totter of like cautionary tale, love story, cautionary tale, love story. But it is, you know, primarily you think a love story. These two young lovers, you just kind of see them in a whirlwind of romance and you want to be invested in that, and then you see that they are actually in a tailspin because they are both heavily addicted to heroin, and you kind of see how that affects their lives, and things go downhill fast. So
I know Cody was talking about it, and I'm like, this movie it sounds like it's gonna be one of those movies that, you know, put you in your feels.
Yeah, it's rough. You're gonna be in your feels all right. You gotta tough it through this one. It's awesome. Gonna be worth it.
Awesome. So how did you get involved with Smack? How did you become a part of this project?
So Kathy Sanders, who plays my mom, actually recommended me. I did a film with her late 2018 called The Forgiving, which was also a wonderful film. We met each other that way. We didn't have any scenes together, but we both admired each other so much. I think she's absolutely fantastic. And she recommended me to Cody. And it was very fortuitous because Cody and I were supposed to work on a film, you know, like a couple years ago, like 2019 or something, and he wasn't able to do it. So I feel like it was kind of fate that now we are going to be acting together again. So I mean, I had to audition and everything. So, you know, I won it fair and square.
Awesome.
But
how was the audition?
That's how I got involved.
So how was the audition? How'd that go? What was that like?
It was a self-tape. You know, I sent it in, and Cody did recommend that I have music playing in the background, which, you know, I love to do anyway. So I loved that he was into that. Kind of gave it that very heavily dramatic cinematic feel. Nice. And, you know, you get the sides, you read them, you try to digest them, you try and memorize them as well as you can so that you're not doing this, you know. But in an audition, also, hot tip, you don't want it to be too polished, because you know, you want them to know that this is an audition and not your final, this is how I'm doing it. You know, you want you want it to be known that you are directable, is I guess what I'm trying to say there. So
that makes perfect sense, because if you polish it, it looks like you perfected it to the T. Then they're gonna be like, what if I don't like it this way, and this is the way they're gonna do it? Can they change up their character to do it this way?
Congratulations, Scotty. You now know everything you need to know about acting.
Fun fact.
4 years, and it was not cheap.
Well, fun fact, I own my own production company.
Hold on.
There you are.
Wait, yeah, there we are. Can you say that again?
Yep, I said, fun fact, I own my own production companies.
Oh, you
Yep,
too.
we start filming our second full feature this not this weekend but next weekend. Yep.
Awesome. What's that about? I know you're the interviewer, but I want to know now.
Okay, well, it's called 72.
Okay.
It's going to be directed and written by Carl Miller. He's the co-owner of my company.
Excellent.
He's also our chief operating officer. It's about where a group of campers go out to the woods. There's like a mass quarantining mandate going on because there's like this virus outbreak. COVID.
Never heard of it.
Right, exactly. So they all go out to the woods to self-quarantine, get away from population, civilization, because in 72 hours the virus should be gone because of the worldwide COVID mandate. Turns out that somebody in the group doesn't know that they actually have the virus, and they start spreading it to everybody in the woods, and they all end up going crazy and getting all these symptoms and dying one by one.
Love it.
Yes.
That's a good movie there.
Yep. And then we also have we have another group called the Three. So they're like people that are kind of evil and they kind of do their own thing, been waiting for Marshall's Lost, to kind of happen. And then you have the news reporters that are reporting about everything going on and giving updates and everything to the people watching at home. And then at the end of the movie, all three groups eventually meet up, at least the surviving members of each groups meet up.
Now, is this sounds obviously dark. Is there any like dark humor in it though? Is it like kind of campy? Okay.
There's a lot of there's some sexual jokes, some like sexual like innuendos and all that. Yeah,
give the people what they want.
Yeah, it's definitely got humor. It's got some very like, of course, very big gore. I don't know if you know Angel Bradford. She's from North Carolina. She's big in the indie scene. She's playing one of our characters, and she's doing our SFX. So she's very good at that. So
beautiful.
Yeah. So that's gonna be fun. I can't wait to start filming that. So yeah.
Great! Yay!
Yeah. So so what do you like anticipate being the hardest part about filming Smack?
Oh, this one's going to be rough emotionally. I posted recently and I said it was the most emotionally gnarly script that I've ever written. I think that kind of encapsulates it perfectly. I think that it is going to be kind of equally different. Tapping into the emotions is one thing once cameras are rolling, but taking care of yourself once cameras are not rolling, that's hard. Getting out of that mindset, reminding yourself that you're okay, you're a human, you're not actually like your life isn't this bad. Like you have to connect to the character to give a good performance, then you have to disconnect to feel okay again when you're doing a movie this dark. So I think that might be the hardest part, and the most important part is taking care of yourself.
Exactly. A lot of people don't realize that like with acting, you're acting a role and it's not really you, it's a character you're playing. But you like for example with Cody, and I'm not sure if this is you as well, but I know Cody, he is a method actor. Like he does the acting.
I know he is.
Yep, he goes right into that character, and he goes into that mindset, going right into it. Like he does everything he can before filming just to get into that set. Did so much research and all that stuff involved, and that a lot of people don't realize that that's what really makes a genuine actor as well. Like getting into the set of the character. And
absolutely,
I guess that gets me to my next question. That's why I kind of said that was how do you prepare for the role of Vanessa? How do you bring yourself to get into that mindset? Are you doing anything to prepare for that?
Absolutely. So like a good actor, I do my character analysis and my script analysis. Obviously starts with the script. You got to start there, analyze the script, then go into analyzing character. With a role like this, research is also very important. It's important not to know like what people addicted to heroin do. I mean, sure, but you have to know like what they're feeling, like what their, and I hate myself for what I'm about to say, what their motivation is. But like really, like you need to know more about their internal journey, like what's going on in and be able to say, oh, well, I know what that feels like. I know, I can relate to that a little bit. I don't think it's necessary to all of a sudden start doing heroin to get into a role like this.
Right.
But you do need to see similarities between yourself and the character.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in that when it comes to acting. So research is very important for a role like this. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because like if you're doing a role as a drug addict, a heroin user, whatever, you don't want to do something that somebody that is on heroin doesn't do, because first of all, it doesn't make it realistic, so, and it hurts the movie and it hurts yourself because it shows you didn't do the research, and also hurts the director and the writer and all that because they didn't catch it when it was being filmed. Secondly, it also it it makes, like, you're gonna get ridiculed. Obviously, people are gonna catch that. They're gonna know, like, hey, I did heroin before. I know this isn't what happens. Or they say, I know somebody that did do heroin, and they, this isn't what happened. So, things like that can really make or break a movie.
They will read you for filth. They will know. They will
Yep.
know. So you want to be the
Yes.
person that really portrays that honestly, and you can't be
Yep.
honest if you don't know what you're doing. So I do
Absolutely.
think that research is important for a role like this.
Absolutely. Now, have you gone to, like, any type of drug rehabilitation facilities or anything like that?
I haven't gotten to, but I would love to. I know that
Yeah.
Cody has, and
Yeah.
I would love to be able to do that at some point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spoke to Cody about, that's where I got that question from, because I wanted to see if you also did that.
I
Because
know he did a better job than me. He did that. So, but I would love to do that. I have done a lot of talking to people and kind of gotten some firsthand experience more like that way with like personal connections. But yeah, I would love to, if he goes again, or maybe I could do it on my own. I would love to do that.
Yeah, so we know that obviously Smack is going to be very depressing. It's going to be very sad. It's going to be heart-wrenching. But filmmaking is fun. I mean, obviously in this type of role it might not be as fun. But what do you anticipate any type of fun moments about this, or any type of enjoyable type of scenes for your character?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. There are some lighter scenes in the script.
Okay.
I don't know if Cody has told you about them at all. I don't want to ruin like any
Right.
of the comedy, but there are definitely some
Okay.
funnier moments. It's not chock full of jokes, but I also like some levity on set. I'm a huge ham. I've always been. I can't help but crack jokes. And there's a behind the scenes video where you can't hear what I'm saying, but you do see that I clearly like go for a joke and I'm making this kind of face and no one laughs, and I go, okay. And I've watched it like 20 times on a loop. Like I'm just like, well, that's Emily on set.
Right.
So it's going to be, I think that there's going to be a lot of fun moments. Sure.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Very corny jokes. People are like, "You're such an old dad." Like, I'm 31. Like, "You're such an old dad," and I'm like, I love those type of corny jokes. Like, and then sometimes some people will be like, "Ha ha ha," and other times they'll be like, "Oh, crickets,"
Yeah.
But I'll watch it and listen to it on loop all the time.
Yeah.
I love it. I just love that type of comedy, that humor. So when does filming start for Smack, and where are you guys going to be filming at?
Principal photography begins Sunday.
Nice.
Sunday. That's 2 days from now. It's
Nice.
crazy. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I auditioned over a year ago. It's finally here. We are starting in Alexandria. I think a lot of it's going to be in Alexandria. Some of it might be in Baltimore, which is where I'm located. We would love for this to have the feeling of being set in Baltimore. There's no reference to it, but there are some specific locations that we were thinking about that when people see it, they're going to be like, that's Baltimore. Like, that's in Baltimore.
Nice.
Very specific city. So,
Nice.
well, we're starting in Alexandria.
Nice. Are you in the city?
So it'll take me maybe like 75 minutes to get to Alexandria. I am in Baltimore City.
Okay, I'm in Baltimore County.
No way.
Yes, I'm in Woodlawn.
Neighbor?
Woodlawn, yep.
Okay, that ain't far from me.
Yeah, not too far. I'm about maybe 15 minutes from Inner Harbor. Yep.
Very nice.
Yep. Yep, I'm from Pennsylvania. I go home usually every other weekend. My dad's battling brain cancer, so I usually go home every other weekend to go visit him. They gave him a year and a half to live, and here September marks 5 years so far. So
Fighter, I love it.
He's
I
in a nursing home
that.
currently because he couldn't walk. Like, it happens like maybe 2-3 times a year where he can't walk, so they end up putting him in a nursing home to get rehabilitation and physical therapy, and then he's starting to walk again. So he should be coming home in 2 weeks or so. Or a week or so roughly. So that's exciting. But I go home every other weekend, but I came here because I got a job with the Coast Guard, and I'm like, I love it here. It's my new home now. So
I love that.
It's exciting. I didn't know you were so close. That's actually really exciting.
Yeah, let's party. Let's get together.
Let's go on the dinner cruise in Inner Harbor. I went there.
Yes.
I was just there. Was it last week? Yeah, last weekend when my mom came up to visit me. We went on the dinner cruise. I was dancing with a bunch of people, drinking and dancing with people I had no clue who they were. That was super fun though.
Welcome to Baltimore, everyone.
Exactly. So, is there an Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign for Smack? And if so, how can people donate?
There was a campaign. It's closed, but keep your eyes peeled because there might be another campaign at some point when we're maybe in the 11th hour and need the last little push to get through this. But yeah,
absolutely. I haven't helped. But
oh yeah, I was just saying, definitely keep your eyes peeled. I mean, a film's never gonna say no to backers. So
right. Yep. I haven't donated, but definitely you're on my Facebook, so let me know. If you guys open another one up, I would love to help out because I really am excited about this movie. It's something that I think is going to be really good. It's going to be really, really good. I can't wait to see this.
Yay!
It's going to be super excited for this. So last question I got for you. Do you have any other projects in the works or any social media accounts for yourself or the film that you would like to promote to the listening and viewing audience?
Oh, I sure do. So I had another feature that just wrapped like last month. That's WNUF Halloween sequel. The WNUF Halloween special was in 2013. It's meant to look like taped footage from the 80s of this talk show. It's really funny and campy. It's by Chris LaMartina, and he and his wife Melissa LaMartina are doing the sequel that's like supposed to take place 10 years later in the 90s, and it's a riot. They promoted it last time by putting it on VHSs and hiding it around Baltimore. So I hope they do something really similar. Awesome. But yeah, WNUF Halloween Spooktacular sequel maybe is like the name of it. They're going to kill me if they ever see this and I'm saying the name wrong. But that's going to be a lot of fun. My Instagram is Emily_Classen. And my Facebook is Emily Classen Official. And that's where I mainly am. I have a Twitter and like I can't even tell you what my handle is. Like, I need to do better at that. But I am pretty active on Facebook and Instagram. And my website is emilyclassen.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad we can make this happen. And I want to give a shout out to Cody. Thank you for setting this up. But yeah, thank you, Emily. It's been an honor to talk about Snack with you. I'm really excited about this.
Absolutely, Scotty. Thank you so much. I look forward to partying in the Inner Harbor.
Absolutely. You have a great rest of your day.
Have a great day. Have a great weekend too. Bye.